Abhishek, what we know here is that the BLS, the service provider for visas in Canada, has cited operational reasons as to why visas will not be issued, and it's now it's been suspended indefinitely until further notice. Is there an official statement that's come in from the Indian government that this has been done in a big diplomatic move? Any official statement that's come in from India?
Not yet, Nabila. There is no reason given, attributing it to the diplomatic tensions, if one can say, between the two countries. But if one is to read between the lines, then the suspension has taken place, certainly because of this reason. What has transpired over the last week or so. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was here during the G20 summit. He met Prime Minister Modi separately, and he raised this issue of a killing in Canada, which he said is suspected that Indian officials have a hand to play in it. India has rejected all these claims made by Canada. He thereafter even said this in the Canadian Parliament, and this was perhaps in response to what India had to say to Canada in that meeting, and not just in that meeting, but over the last few months, if not years. There has been a constant flurry of information been given to Canada about the activities of Khalistani groups, Khalistani sympathizers in Canada, but really no action has been taken, and that's the trigger point for this diplomatic row. But with suspension of visas, of course, this looks like an escalation, and how far this is going to be stretched is difficult to say at this point of time. But definitely, because a lot of Indian diaspora in Canada, people who have roots in India, they have relatives, friends in India, want to come here to meet them. They are going to face problems, and if at all Canada, decides to do the same action by suspending visas for Indians, then on the receiving end will be a lot of students who go there, and also a lot of people who have been making a beeline for getting permanent residencies. So definitely, this is going to be it is going to take a big hit on the relations between the two countries.
And the irony here, Abhishek, at the G20 meet, we saw a brief bonhomie between the two leaders, even though Justin Trudeau, we believe, now that he's left, that he was being difficult right from the get-go. He refused to move into a suite that India had arranged for him. He insisted on staying in a regular room. There were a lot of moving parts where he wasn't complying with the kind of security arrangements that were made by India. So it almost appears that as if he came with a certain prejudice. So tell us a little more about the G20 discussion, the pull-aside that Prime Minister Modi and Justin Trudeau had, and we believe that Prime Minister Modi had even raised the Khalistani issue with Justin Trudeau. He assured that there will not be any space for extremism in his country. But seems like the reverse has happened right after he went back, blaming India for the killing of Khalistani leader Nijjar.
Well, in the one-on-one meeting that the two leaders had, Prime Minister Modi emphatically raised the issue of Khalistani separatism raising its head in Canada, and that there are serious concerns about India's security and sovereignty. We made to believe that while Justin Trudeau heard all of this, but he also made this allegation in that meeting about Indian involvement in the killing of Nijjar, which was completely unacceptable to India. And it's that sparked the diplomatic row, because even though India did not come out with a statement at that point of time talking about what Trudeau had to say, but the way Justin Trudeau went back and made the statement in Parliament, that has really sparked and escalated this issue. And since then, there has been a diplomatic war of words. There has been a tit-for-tat action. Diplomats being suspended from either side. Advisories being given about security concerns in the two countries. And now this big action from the Indian side.
Allegations have come in and thick and fast from the Trudeau government and are largely unsubstantiated. They claim that they have credible reports of Indian agents linked to the death of the Khalistani leader, but where is the proof? Even before you have a concrete evidence, you have a big statement coming in from the Prime Minister of a country like Canada, where we see a Khalistani separatist movement growing and gaining ground.